Let's take a closer look at some of the damage on these cars. I mean, nothing but the metal left over. Look at the seats in the back of this car here, even down to the metal melted on the ground. You can see the tires and the rubber just completely shredded. Look at your air quality as we start this morning. A lot of unhealthy for sensitive groups. The only one looking clear at the moment is Brookings. A heads up for drivers in Medford. There's a new school zone on one of Medford's busiest roads.
Trucks were lined up all the way down here, and we knew that would happen because a lot of them spend the night as they wait out the storm, wait for the morning time to come and to be light out. But now you're seeing here, they're free flowing.
And Annette, you were saying earlier when we were speaking that you were kind of already planning to reopen on this day, whether or not it was allowed. And I feel like that's just sort of a testament to what you and so many other restaurant owners have been going through.
Oh, you want to learn a trick?
I have to learn a trick.
All right,
Come
well,
on.
I'm going to teach you the basic signature move of the Harlem Globetrotter. Put your finger up.
I need the signature move.
All right,
Let's see how good.
Keep it up.
I got a strong finger. I think I got it.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
You got it?
Think I can be part of the Harlem? After 16 years, the city of Medford will have a new mayor next year. 4 candidates were hoping to replace outgoing Mayor Gary Wheeler. I have followed that up with, is it accurate to say there were no structures harmed yesterday? We are still waiting on the response for that. And of course, once we know, you guys will know and hopefully bring some relief to some of you this morning. You started in your garage. Kind of tell me a little bit of the backstory here. 12 in Denver, so if you thought 36 was cold, you might be taking that back now. It's actually kind of nice over here in our area.
Yeah, he looks incredible.
Looks pretty good, huh?
It does look really good. Did you name him?
So the trick is to make it small, and then you can get, his round shape. I didn't name him. We'll have to help me come up with one.
Okay.
One by one, U.S. Postal Service employees roll out like clockwork, getting ready for another day during a season unlike any other.
It far supersedes any other year for package parcel delivery.
This is Ron Fair. You could say he knows a thing or two about delivery driving.
I've been doing this for 7 years.
He knows where to put his packages.
My method is I'm putting them in my route delivery order.
And he knows the Rogue Valley like the back of his hand.
If I was brand new on the route, it would be really hard.
But what he's never experienced before
This is my second load.
is the volume of packages he's delivering.
Yesterday I scanned 466.
And what is that compared to normal for you?
Triple.
And this goes for the rest of his coworkers.
We've seen more than 100% increase in our package volumes this year.
In past holiday seasons, carriers typically deliver between 70 to 100 packages a day. But this year,
Anywhere from 300 to 600 packages per route.
the increase stretching drivers well beyond their normal shifts.
We're now doing 10, 12, 14 hours.
Despite early mornings and the long nights, Ron says it's all worth it.
We're proud to do it. This is what we do. We are the last mile of delivery.
So they pack up their cars, jump in the driver's seat, and one by one, they hit the road, making sure everyone gets their packages in time for Christmas. In Medford, Blakely Mchugh, NBC5 News.
October 1, people were already, it was full. 12 tenants were moving in October 1.
Gil Livney is the owner of this plot of land.
This used to be the community building.
His Magnolia Fine Homes apartment complex used to fill the area, but now it's all gone. Instead, it's filled with construction workers trying to rebuild what was once a place dozens called home.
To see something that you put a lot of time and love, and this is also, I'm not just the builder here, I'm the owner. I really put a lot of things into those units, and it's burned out.
Livney and his crew had been working on the project for nearly a year and a half.
It was just completed July 15 of this year.
But just weeks after tenants moved in, the Almeda fire hit.
Yeah, it's quite devastating.
The morning after the fire, he asked for approval to rebuild and got it. Then, roughly 10 days later, he got to work. Livney says there are some challenges that come with rebuilding.
It's more delicate, to cut and fit buildings where they used to be before without destroying what you already have.
And his employees feel the same.
We're being tested to rebuild it. do it once, then do it again, I guess.
But despite the obstacles, they're happy to bring a glimmer of hope to the small town.
I want to make sure that talent is coming back as soon as possible.
In Talent, Blakely Mchugh, NBC5 News.
Someday I'll frame it or...
Ian Davis was just 17 years old when he built what was then called a hand in the future.
In 1992, South Medford High School, I designed and developed a fully ambulatory robotic arm using myoelectronics.
At the time, it was just for a school project. He never thought what he created in his teen years would be something he needed in his adult years.
You know, you don't realize how much you take your hands for granted, and then when you don't have that as a thing, it really affects your attitude.
In October of 2017, Davis was given less than a year to live when he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma.
No, it's a huge sack of suck.
It's a cancer that lives within the bones, weakening the immune system and making it easier for bones to break.
Slow, that's fast. In last November, I had an accident at my shop where I broke a couple bones in my hand, and because I have multiple myeloma, I'm severely compromised in my immune system. So it went from, you know, getting pins to you're not healing to bone infection, blood infection, septicemia, you're going to die.
In order to save his life, doctors had to amputate 4 fingers on his dominant hand. As an engineer, the idea of not using his hand wasn't something he could grasp.
I mean, the cancer was a career ender, and this just really put the icing on the cake. Career ender. They scrape it off.
Being told he couldn't do what he loved any longer wasn't an option.
This is the part that I designed this morning.
So he got to work.
In January, when I was still in the hospital, I started designing a prosthetic hand. It's kind of my day job. It's what I use to, you know, maintain my sanity.
He lost his fingers in January. In March, he had his first prototype made.
The first time that I was able to, you know, pick stuff up again, it's magical.
Since then, he's continued to redesign and recreate each hand to make them better than before.
That is my collection of failed attempts.
Failed attempts that are turning into successes, one hand at a time.
Hand of the past with the hand of the future.
Right, there you go.